Hey, it's Chris Bowling.
It's Chris Beyer. CB, how are you,
Hey,
sir?
buddy. How was your week?
Good,
Crazy?
good. It's been crazy in a good way.
I
Um,
like it. So
yeah,
this is we're going to talk about a topic that you want to discuss. I think that you're one of the best at, which is why do we ask so many questions when we are sitting down with a potential client and with a client at times?
yes,
And I think this has been literally something you've practiced, that you've thought about a order of questions and why do you do that? What is the reason for it? Why does sometime we always joke around and say, I don't want this to feel like a interrogation.
however, yeah,
However, we're not here to show up and throw up. This isn't about us, it's about you. So tell me kind of the philosophy of how you started to practice those questions and why
yeah,
they even are important during a meeting.
yeah. I'm an accounting nerd at heart. It's My brain works very much in logical order, so everything has to have a purpose,
Amen.
and I have to be able to follow a process. Otherwise, I get all crazy and chaotic when the spreadsheet doesn't add up.
Right.
So I think that's just been part of it. And then secondarily, I'm naturally curious. And, as I've seen us evolve our process of helping our clients and working with prospective clients. Again, we've talked about it. We've gone from selling insurance products in our career to being consultants and really helping find that better solution for benefit strategies. It's one thing to ask a question about what's your deductible, what's your carrier. I mean, those were things that we would have asked in our prior lives when we were trying to replace an insurance product with our product. Where now we're trying to figure out, are we a good fit for this organization as a prospective client? Are they open to taking advice? Are they looking to make positive changes, or are they just an organization that wants to do things that they've always done? And that's okay. There's a fit for those organizations out there. There's advisors that can work well with them. But it's, our ability to dig in deeper to things that are more strategic for that organization, and then figure out from the perspective of CFO, CEO, HR director, operations, management, where do you want to take the organization? Because it is old method to look at benefit strategy as an isolated part of the company, that we're just going to deal with that at renewal, and it's a transaction that happens. The best organizations that we work with see that benefit strategy is a part of their strategic plan, and until we talk about that strategic plan and understand the organization's goals overall, we can't improve anything for them.
Right. Well, I think we both recognized early in our career, going back to your love for accounting, benefits are going to make up for sure the top 3 or 4 line
Yes.
items of the expense. So how do we
Yes.
get the most out of that expense, right? It's no
Absolutely.
different than when you look at your own employee population. How do I get the most out of my employees to be the best person they can be, to be the best person in that position they can be?
Yes.
And I like the questions that we ask because you and I are always trying to figure out, can we move the needle?
Yes.
And if you don't want to move the needle and you're just looking for a different carrier, as you said, there are some great consultants out there that love to spreadsheet 15 plans
Yeah.
and dig into to the most minute detail. And that's important. I mean, insurance is important, but I don't think that's why you and I get up every day.
Right. Right. I think, in our process, outside of a few situations when a carrier is leaving the market and we have to quote in order to replace the exiting carrier for an organization, we don't quote to win business.
No.
We look at the strategy and the 2 to 3 year, steps that we're going to take to improve that organization and their benefit program as the differentiator.
Yeah.
And when we deliver that strategy, it's based on what the employer told us that they want to achieve, what they hope to achieve, and then it's us matching up our resources and our ideas to fit what they asked for. It's not us just delivering a suite of services and expecting somebody to say yes, or
Right.
going out and trying to ask the insurance market to dictate why an organization should work with us. Those are just things that don't fit our model.
No. No. I like I said, I remember when you and I first went out, sometimes you would ask a question and they'd be like, what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Yeah.
Or what are you
Yeah.
getting at? Where now I think you and I have really learned how to piggyback off of one another. You may ask a question, they may get an answer, and immediately my brain goes to, wait a minute, did they mean that? Or
Yeah.
should we dig in deeper to that? And that's what I love about our meetings is you and I can walk away from any meeting and say, okay, how can we help them?
Yes.
You know,
Yes. We talked a few weeks ago about having pre-renewal meetings or strategy meetings with our current clients, that we've been doing that, in the first quarter, and trying to figure out what they want to do for this year. It was interesting. Yesterday, I was just on a follow-up call with one of our clients. We had set some strategies out, early this year. And as we're recording this at the latter part of March, some of those things have already changed because
Yeah.
priorities with ownership are different than what our conversation was when we had the strategy meeting. So in the span of 2 months, some other things are getting pushed down the road that we thought we were going to do. But that's great, because if we wouldn't have asked the questions yesterday on that call, we would have still assumed we were going one direction, and it pivoted so quickly. It's like, okay, let's update our notes because now this is the priority.
Yeah.
And that's when you become a great advisor, is that you are in sync with your organizations that you work with, because they're willing to share, they're willing to have dialogue, and they accept us challenging those next steps for them.
Yeah, love it. Great discussion.
Absolutely. Thanks, CB.
Well done, CB. Have a good weekend.
You as well. Good to see you.
All right, we'll see you.